Welcome everybody to another episode of the 10-10 challenge on FIFA 17, and it's me, Ida, back for another episode. And today we are doing another game, and hopefully, I think this might get us into the promotion, not the title, but it should get us promoted this game if we win. So I'll meet you in the game. Alright, this is this guy's team. He's got the Villarreal goalkeeper, and I can't remember who it is. He's got Cajon at right back. He's got Vasquez, Varane, Laporte, Alaba. He's got Nolito, Isco, Benzema, Aspas, and I can't remember who that defensive midfielder is. I think it's Bruno. I can't remember the goalkeeper's name at all, but I think it's Bruno. Now, this person has a guest, so this is going to be pretty difficult. The topic I want to go into today is the sort of how whingy and mingy Barcelona get. They stink the place out when they're losing. If anybody watched the game recently against Juventus, the second leg, where they were losing from the first leg, from I'd say about the 15th minute, you know, where, because a lot of teams when they're at home, they sort of recognise that the first 15 minutes is important in trying to impose themselves on a game. Wow, that was interesting. And when they've got out of that 15 minutes where they weren't doing that well, they just got, that was supposed to be a cross, not a slide tackle, Sane. They get really mingy. They just, as soon as the referee doesn't give them one decision they think they're like aggrieved about, they just go straight into full on surround the referee mode, flopping on the floor, trying to dive. That's definitely offside. They go flopping on the floor, they jump around, and they just make it impossible for the referee to try and make a salient decision that's actually gonna be correct. And if anything, the referee for that game had some balls, because not many referees have that amount of balls to do that to Barcelona, where they literally just blank them and just don't give them anything in the game. And I'd say he had massive credit out of that game. But it's something that happens in football a lot, where obviously the passion does run wild, but I don't think with Barcelona that it's necessarily their passion. I mean, Neymar, you could tell he got booked for like, you know, sort of punching in the, well, whatever you want to say, shaking his fist, but it was more like a, you know, sort of a punch, you know, sort of little kid sort of, you know, being annoyed at something, where they just sort of go, yeah, like throwing the toys out the pram. But it just seemed like it was from after that sort of first 15 minutes, it just non-stop having a go and trying to get something from the referee. And there's two schools of thought about it. One is that it does sort of work. In some games it's worked in the past, but if you do it too much, is it the fact that the referees are going to know that you're doing that, and so they're just going to take that as, oh, well, we know their game plan and we're just not going to let ourselves be put in that pressure? And my midfield is all over the place at the moment. Another example is, obviously the crowd is going to be really biased and they're going to help their team as much as they can, and they're going to try to put pressure on the referee and all that. I understand that. But there was one point in the game where the Juventus left back, I think it's Alexandro, it hit his arm, yes, but his arm was pretty much, couldn't get any closer. Like, you'd have to like split atoms to find out how like far away his arm was between his bloody side. And he didn't move it up towards the ball or anything like that. So it was just the most least obvious, like, there was no handball basically. And the crowd just were screaming like it was a penalty. And then there was like a couple of brilliant slide tackles that were plain to see, like on the TV where the camera's miles away. And you just see all the Barcelona fans just screaming, Origi! Oh, good save again from the keeper. But you just get all of the crowd. And I get the crowd is passionate, but there's the difference between passionate and just sort of trying to cheat the game and the referee and conning them into thinking that there's a decision to be made when there blatantly is nothing there. Origi's through from Sane. Come on, Origi. Yes, that's a great finish. Boom, boom. That is a goal from Origi. Nice passing from Sane. It's the first decent ball he's put in. And I thought he was going to miss that because I've missed 2 pretty decent shots from there already today. Okay, there's half time. They've had a lot more shots than me, but their shots have been pretty crap. Like 2 of theirs were outside the box. One was quite far. One was really tight angle. And that angle on there didn't really give it justice for how wide it really was. Going to an example of where Barcelona just get mingy and sort of, it is, I know it's part of the game and it's sort of playing the referee and you can't do anything about it for how the game is at the moment. But you look at the famous game, the Chelsea-Barcelona game, where some people would say that there's, 4 penalties. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say 2 of them were and 2 of them weren't. But even then, Origi should have scored there. 2 of them should have been penalties. There is no doubt about it. And the referee is in full view of that. And the referee just bottles it because you look at the rest of the game where the referee gets surrounded by different players. And he should have clocked on to that and stopped it before it got any further than what it did. And how is that not offside? It looked like he was miles off. But he should have clocked it because you look at the Chelsea game in the FA Cup where Herrera got sent off. That is a fantastic block from the defender. You look at where he got sent off. The referee knew what Man United's tactic was, which was to just basically foul Hazard in a rotation. And if you normally do that in a rotation, the referees won't do anything about it because they don't spot it because they're pretty stupid. But in reality, the laws of the game do say if they suspect that have happening, they can give a yellow card for it. And obviously, Herrera was already on the yellow card, and that's a good header by Hernandez, but it didn't get anywhere near the goal. And the referees have license to give yellow cards where they feel that is happening, and they don't do it enough in the games. And they don't just have to have it for if they suspect that they're doing that sort of round robin fouling. They can do it for things like where they're crowding the referee, because they need to have that rule in where it's just the captain is allowed to talk to the referee, because you see it so many times with Barcelona, and it's not just them, but they are massive culprits of it. And they just get, at a time, you'll have one player goes up to the referee with the captain, and they'll put their hands behind their backs and they'll be like, oh, I'm all innocent, that wasn't a free kick, or that was a free kick, or we should have had a penalty there, that's your fault, we didn't get anything out the game there. And the referees don't do anything, because the next time that happens, they send a different player and the captain, and then the next time a different player and a captain, and then the next time a different player and a captain, and so on until they've run out of all the players and they just start again from their position. And yeah, fair enough, it works. The referees don't cotton onto it quick enough. But if you watch any sort of football, surely you've noticed that before with Barcelona. Pretty much every single game I've ever watched Barcelona that's been not even a big game, like in La Liga, where maybe they're playing like Celta Vigo or somebody, or Villarreal, or a team that's maybe not near the top of the table. I know some of those teams are doing alright this season, but in general they're not always, that high up. But I'm going to go a little defensive here because it looks like they've pushed forward. And you see it in every game they play. They try a version of that tactic, and the referees need to be smarter. Like, I know it may be different in Spain, because I know in England there are some of the referees are fully professional, and they get ample time to study games and teams and sort of know what teams are like. And maybe they don't get that in Spain. But I would have thought they would, with the amount of money that is in Spanish football, and you've got Real Madrid and Barcelona. You'd think that they would want those sorts of referees to do the similar job and have the same opportunities as the rest of the world's, better referees. My last point I want to go into on this is the fact with how the referees can do better in that situation. It's not just the referees that can do better. There's their assistants, especially in the European competitions like the Champions League, where they have the extra officials behind the goal. You would think UEFA would give them a little bit more power, because the assistant referees have the power to sort of talk to the referees, the assistants on the sideline, obviously, because they are technically classed as another official. You would think with somebody that is so highly qualified as a ref, you'd think they'd give them more license to have a decision and have an input into what's going on in the game. But it doesn't seem like they do. Aspas is through. No, I nearly got it. Oh, I took him out, didn't I? Is that full time as well? Yeah, my cursor's gone white for some reason. Yeah, that's the end of the game. And that is a pretty good 3 points on the board. And I think we'll go past this screen. And the stats were fairly even. I didn't have many on target, but it was 1-0, so that's fine. And that means we are staying in the league. We're not in promotion yet. One more win, and we will be in the promotion. So that is going to be the end of the game and the end of the episode. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.